Today we are looking at the first 10 things that you can change on your Apple Watch, whether it be an Apple Watch Ultra Series 8, Series 7, or like this one, the SE2 that I am currently using. I did just make a full review on this one. If you missed it and want to catch it, I'll leave links down below. And I also did one on the Apple Watch Ultra about a month ago. If you wanted to catch that one, links in the description. So first, we're going to start off with the bands. So Apple has allowed the users to continue to use any band from the Series 1 or Series 2. You can use them all the way up, even with all the size changes, which is fantastic. I currently still, to this day, have my Nike band from my Series 3. When I originally picked up the Series 3, I got the standard band, and it really bothered my wrist. And I took it back to the Apple store, and the Apple sales guy told me that to pick up the Nike band, and this enabled me to use the watch. And I have been an Apple Watch user ever since the Series 3 and picking this one up. I've used this band from Series 3 to Series 5. Was using it on my SE2 up until I picked up this Apple Watch Ultra band, and we'll talk about this one a little bit later. Series 3 fits on the SE2. I've got a leather band. I've got the metal clasp band, and you can just change up the look of your watch. It's fantastic, and these last, if you upgrade your watch, you can still use them. No problems. So the second section we want to get into is watch faces. So on the Apple Watch, you can customize your watch face. If you go all the way in the home screen, you can add new, and you can scroll through all of the available watch faces. There's quite a bit now since we're coming up on watchOS 10. I do like a little bit of detail. You want some color. Nothing too crazy like this one. There's just too much going on for this one for me. So I usually like a analog style watch face. It's funny saying analog on a smartwatch, but an analog style face while I'm at work kind of thing, and more of a digital kind of thing while I'm at home on the weekends. And then very similar complications on both. I always like the weather. UV in the summer. I usually do a little more weather conditions in the winter because, being in Canada, weather conditions can change more than UV around here. But and then my rings. Apple's got us hooked on the rings, closing the rings every day. Whether you're upping them every week or you're having a lower week kind of thing, I'm always trying to close the rings. And then the Now Playing widget, whether it's music, podcasts, YouTube app, anything like that, you can control it right through this complication, which is great. And then on my digital one, very similar, Now Playing nice and big. And then over here is my sleep face. At 11 o'clock at night, this goes to this watch face. It's locked out. It's in my focus mode on my phone, and pretty much only thing I can do on my watch is change my alarm. I have it set for 6 o'clock to get up for work. Let's put the watch down and let's check out the watch app. But the first section that you're going to want to go into is the notifications section. And in here you can change whether you want indicators, whether you want to show the summaries, when it's locked, when you're not paying attention. That way people can't see your messages. If you do have a passcode on it kind of thing and somebody gets your watch, that kind of stuff is hidden. But you can scroll down here. You can go through here. I have Instagram and iTunes Store turned off, so I don't have any notifications coming through my watch on there. But pretty much anything that you just don't need, a heads up on. Like, I don't need sports on my watch. I can leave it on my phone when I want to pick it up, kind of thing like that. Go through the notifications and turn off what you do and do not want, because it saves battery and it just eliminates distractions on your watch. So if we want to change some complications on the watch, what we need to do is you just hold down like you were going to edit the watch face. We're going to go into edit, scroll over to complications, and then you can, depending on the watch face, just choose the quadrant or section that allows it, and you can pick from the many different complications that are available. Whether you like shortcuts, your podcasts, your news, anything like that that you want to check on your watch, you can pretty much create shortcuts, and then if it's tuned to it, they'll give you a little bit of information so you don't have to necessarily click on it. That's what I do like about my complications, is how I use them, is they are pretty much an easy way for me to check something multiple times per day, 3 to 5 seconds, quick glance. What's the weather outside? What's the UV? Do I have to put the sunscreen on? How's my rings? Should I take the dog for a walk? Anything like that. The now playing, so I can control anything going there. So we jump back on the phone here under the watch app. We can see that I do have a software update available for the watch. Updates do get pushed periodically like iOS updates. So generally when there's an update to your phone, there's an update to your watch. They don't update together, so you do have to do them separately. The watch does have to be on a charger, and it has to be up to 50% charged as well as on the charger. So if you ever run into any issues trying to update your watch, it may be that the watch is under 50% charged and it just has to go up past 50% and the update will start. But you can do this overnight. It's very easy. You just set it up in the remind me later kind of thing, and it will update overnight. So the next is watch orientation. Now this really depends on how you want to wear the watch. I do kind of go back and forth from left wrist to right wrist. Currently, I do wear it with the digital crown on the left side. So I do wear it like this, whereas the digital crown is here. I find it easy to scroll, easy to tap the buttons when I need to get to there. So if I'm looking to, go for a walk with the dog, I can hit the workout button, scroll up, outdoor walk, and away we go. Very easy kind of thing like that. The only downside of it being on this side is if you do lean on a table, you will find if you have the Siri set up on the button, you will press it and hold, and Siri will come up and all the things. So I have that turned off on mine to activate Siri. So if I hold this, Siri does not come up. But the other way that you could possibly wear it too is if we put it on this side, and then now you can see the scroll wheel is on, or the digital crown is on this side, button is on this side. I just find it's not as intuitive using the thumb as it is over here. It's not bad, but I feel like it's a full hand kind of grasp when you need to hold here and everything like that. So I prefer using the finger. You could put it over here on the top here, but it's kind of the same thing, when you crush the buttons. So up to you, but I do go both sides. How you change that is in the watch app under watch orientation. It allows you to choose your left wrist or right wrist, and then it allows you to change where the digital crown is currently placed. If you have it on your right wrist, digital crown on the left, or if you have it on your right wrist and digital crown is on the right, and vice versa, you can make those changes, which is very nice. Now another big battery killer will be the background app refresh. So this is different from your notifications. So you can come up here and just turn that off altogether. No apps are allowed to pretty much refresh in the background. So depending on whether or not you want that, or you can have them on and go through individually and select which apps you do not want to go out and refresh. So this pretty much allows your watch to reach out to the app on your phone to refresh and see if there's anything new that it needs to push to your watch. Turning this off would force you to manually refresh the watch app, so physically going on the watch and opening it, and causing it to communicate with your phone, or if you have the LTE model, you can do it that way without a phone, and it can go out and reach for data. So the next great feature that you're going to want to turn on for your Apple Watch is the charging and bedside mode. So under general, if you scroll down to nightstand mode, this is where you can use the Apple Watch as a nightstand clock. So you can put it on the charger and it will display a black screen, green text. Very easy to see at night, not too disturbing while you're sleeping. It's not a very bright light, but it will show you the time, and if it notices any movement around the watch, the display will turn on and it will turn off after a couple minutes. And it shows you your alarm if you have one set in the morning. If you prefer not to wear your watch while sleeping, you can always use nightstand mode to display your time and your alarm while you are charging the watch. And while we're in the general menu, this is how we enable screenshots. So you're going to want to check this on, and you would now be able to take screenshots with your watch. So to take a screenshot, but you're going to do very similar to the iPhone with the volume up and power button, but on the watch it's going to be the digital crown and the side button. We're going to push them at the same time, and you get that same animation as you do with the phone with the screen flash. And now when you go into your photos, you can see you have your lovely Apple Watch screenshot right on your phone, and that was super quick. So if there's anything you wanted to show somebody or send somebody, you can easily just take a screenshot and send it off that way. This is where we can see our storage. We can see everything that is installed or downloaded onto your watch. This is the SE2 now, so this has 32 gigabytes of memory, which on a watch is more than enough. As you can see, I have 1.5 gigs of music, a gig of podcasts. Here's my updates that's waiting, and pretty much everything else on my watch. The one thing that I don't really carry on my watch is audiobooks. So similar to music and podcasts, you can look at 1 or 2 gigs worth of audiobooks at a time, and you can always go in and change the amount of what you have on your watch. So if you want to make changes to what is downloaded on your watch, you would go into, say, either the music app or the podcasts app and choose what you do and don't want downloaded, whether you want to stream everything, whether you're always going to have your phone or you have the LTE watch. You can do it that way, or you can download everything to your phone and pass it over to your watch, which is great if you have the GPS model and you go on long walks or anything like that, and you just want to have something playing in the background. So the next thing you would want to customize on your Apple Watch is in the display and brightness. This is kind of where you can change and adjust brightness. So the Apple Watch, you can either bring it down if you want better battery life, or if it's not bright enough and you're outside all day and you need a really bright screen, you can bring it all the way up. I like to keep it nice in the middle. And then if you need the text size, if you need it bigger, or you want more information on the screen, or if you need bigger text kind of thing, we can throw it up a little bit. You can also bold the text, so that make every letter a little bit thicker, easier to see. And then here is where you can change how you want to wake the watch. So whether you want to wake on wrist raise, so when you lift your wrist, the watch will turn on. The SE2 does not have always on display, so that is kind of necessary for me. If you have the Ultra or the Series 8, you have the always on display, so it's technically always on, so you could go and you could tap the watch to turn it on, but there it is. Screen off. If you turn the digital crown, it would turn the watch on. But as you can see, I turned mine off because the way I wear it, it would turn it on all the time. So similar to like the Siri activation, I have that one turned off. And then as well, we can change our wake duration. I usually have it set for 15 seconds. I have it set for the 70 seconds to record this video. So You can choose either or. Pretty much if you're wearing the watch and you raise your wrist to look at it, and then when you drop it, as you can see, mine turns off. Raise it, it turns on. When you drop it, it turns off. So the 70 seconds is only pretty much if you raise it and continue to keep it at a certain angle so that it doesn't turn off. But other than that, this is where you would change the wake duration. The next section would be in the sound and haptics. So whether you want your alerts to have volume or whether you just want it to be a simple buzz on the wrist, I usually just keep it at a simple buzz. All my notifications just give, the distinct taps. I pretty much keep silent mode on all the time, so it's just to vibrate, no noise. It doesn't really disturb anybody, or nobody knows whether I'm actually getting a notification. If my watch goes off, I choose whether to check it. If I don't check it when it comes in, you can always go back and scroll down and then see what the actual notification was later on when you have the chance. So here you can change whether you have the haptics alerts, so that's the vibrate, and then whether or not you want the default or the prominent, so a little bit stronger. These other things, crown haptics, so whether or not you want the haptics to happen while you're using the digital crown. So you can, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's doing the little vibration as it scrolls. System haptics is for when you're making certain changes in the system. So if you're scrolling up and you're making different changes to your system controls or interactions, whether you want haptics for that. And cover to mute. I live on this. If I'm getting a phone call, you just cover your watch and it will mute anything coming in. Great for phone calls, great for anything you don't want to action on that's coming in. Very, very good. You don't have to press a button or anything. You just literally, and then you're good to go. So one of the big things about Apple Watch is the health and emergency options, and emergency SOS would be where this is. You can change the settings in here, so you can actually set it up so that you can hold the side button, and when you hold it, you'll get the option give an emergency SOS. The new watchOS 9, you got compass backtrack, and then you can show your medical ID so that if you ever go to the hospital or anything like that, they can simply swipe it over and they can check your age, all that stuff in here if you do set it up in the health app on your phone. But here, and then you can pretty much slide that over and it'll call SOS. This is a great feature because this is attached to your body, whereas your phone may be in your pocket, maybe in the car, maybe somewhere on you, but it can be thrown across or thrown away from you in something that happens, like if you're on a bike or anything like that and you get separated from your bike and your watch is on your wrist. Great feature to have. And then similar to that is the new update for crash detection, so that if you do get in a crash, they've pretty much set it up so that these things know whether you're in a car crash and they can automatically call 911 for you, which is just an amazing feature. And another thing is fall detection. So whether you have an elderly parent or elderly person in your family, you can give them an Apple Watch. They fall, then this would allow them to contact emergency services. And if they don't respond within a given amount of time, then it would automatically call for them. So another great feature. All three of these, turn them on. They're just there for you. Last section that we're going to talk about is the security features on the watch. So if we go into passcode, I have it turned off currently to record this video, but you can set up a passcode on your watch, and this allows you to set up things like Apple Pay on your watch so that you can pay with things. You can use certain cards if they allow Apple Wallet functionality inside the app. This allows you to also do is you can unlock using your iPhone. So if you swipe up and your watch is still locked, you can unlock your watch as well. And then you can have the erase data feature on, so that if you do lose your watch and somebody tries to get into your watch and they input your code incorrectly, 10 times, it will automatically erase your account, lock the watch so that they can't get into it without your iCloud account and password. And if you want a longer than 4-digit passcode on your watch, then you can uncheck the simple passcode, and this will allow you to have, I believe, between 6 and, I don't actually know the full number, but this allows you to have more than a 4-character passcode. So if you want a really long passcode on your watch, that is how you do it. So there it is. Those are the 10 things that I change, customize, configure when I get my Apple Watch. Let me know down below if you do anything differently, if there's something that I missed that you do when you first get a watch with a setting or band or watch face or anything like that. Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you in the next video next week.
Listen.